we will be starting with the third part on ordinary differential equation. The prior two classes we have already covered up the basics of ordinary differential equation, and in the second part we did cover regarding exact differential equation, and if an equation is not exact, then how can we incorporate a integrating factor. We had discussed regarding that in the second part, and of course we had seen the different types of integrating factor by just looking into it by inspection. Also at times we can easily find, but in cases where we cannot find it just simply by inspection, in these cases we have to apply few rules. The very first rule was already discussed in the previous class, yet for a brief nutshell and the recapitulation of the just the previous class, I will just need to say that of course an integrating factor in an equation m dx plus n dy equal to 0, which is not exact. For exactness we have to say that del m del y is equal to del n del x, then only we can say that the differential equation is exact. Partial differentiation that we have to do. If it is not equal, then we say that the equation is not exact. In that only those cases the integrating factor comes to place. So here mu will be a function of x and y, and this particular mu xy will be the integrating factor of the differential equation. We had also discussed that there can be infinite number of integrating factor for a particular differential equation. The very first rule that we had discussed in the previous episode was that if m dx plus n dy equal to 0 is not exact, in that case m dx plus n dy, if it is a homogeneous equation with m and n specifically as homogeneous functions also, of course one more restriction is there, that mx plus ny is strictly not equal to 0, then we can say 1 divided by mx plus ny is an integrating factor. Obviously if it is equal to 0, then obviously we cannot write 1 by 0 in this case. We have discussed everything in this detail. Today we start with the second rule. If m dx plus n dy equal to 0 be an equation of the form y into function of x into y dx plus x into function of x into y dy equal to 0, and if mx plus minus ny is not equal to 0, then we can say that 1 divided by mx minus ny is an integrating factor of the equation m dx plus n dy equal to 0. So let's quickly look into an example of this type. Here we can see that the equation given over here is xy into sine xy plus cos xy, and then you have given a whole bracket. After that we have multiplied y to it. So here this equation can be written in the form of y into function of x into y, surely, right? Similarly, for the next part we can see that we are multiplying over here x and we are writing a function in xy. So this can be written as plus, obviously, x into another function, say g xy, and of course we have dx and dy multiplied to it respectively is equal to 0, right? So here we can see that m is equal to this one and n is equal to the second part. Of course, as I mentioned, this is an equation we have written over here f1xy. I can write fxy and gxy also, no problem in that. And this is multiplied with y and this is multiplied with x, and it is equal to 0. Now, you can see that mx minus ny, if we are multiplying x with m and y with n and then taking the difference of the two, we find that it is coming out to be 2xy cos xy, which is not equal to 0. Since it is not equal to 0, we can consider mx minus ny 1 divided by this particular term as an integrating factor, and so we have considered this. Now as this is the integrating factor, we can definitely multiply this thing with the equation. So after multiplying it with the equation given over here, we will get, you can see definitely the equation gets converted into this particular line, that is half y tan xy plus 1 by x dx plus half x tan xy minus 1 by y dy equal to 0, which of course has to be exact. And so just rearranging this entire equation, you can see, in fact all of us can see, that this can be written in the form tan xy dxy plus dx by x minus dy by y equal to 0. Simply taking integration over all the sides, we get the equation in the form, the general solution, as log of sec xy plus log x by y equal to log c, where definitely c is an arbitrary constant. We cannot miss out on this particular statement that c is an arbitrary constant. If you do not write this, marks are definitely deducted. So ultimately we can write x by y into sec xy equal to c. Just removing away all the logs and applying antilog, we can obviously write this particular equation. Also, you can simplify it further as x sec xy equal to cy. That is this particular equation that we have. A similar sort of example is given in the next step. Please see here. The equation over here is given as y into xy plus 2x square y square whole dx plus x into xy minus x square y square bracket dy equal to 0. Again, we can see that this can be considered as a function f1 xy, function of x and y, of course, product form, and this we are getting g again, or f2, whatever we can write a f2 here, and we get again a function of xy, right, x into y. And of course we are multiplying y with this and we are multiplying x with this. Since this particular equation we see is not exact, that is my is partially derivative is not equal to nx, as we can see. So therefore we can definitely apply the integrating factor that has been applied over here, that is 1 divided by mx minus ny. Since here also you can see m into x minus n into y will give us not equal to 0, right? Here the steps have been given here. All of us can check that since it is not exact and m is this one, n is this one, mx minus ny we are getting as 3x cube y cube. So therefore the integrating factor will be 1 divided by 3x cube y cube, since 1 divided by mx minus ny is the integrating factor. Here we are multiplying, not partially derivative. Don't get confused between the two. So here we are getting this as the integrating factor, multiplying with the integrating factor all throughout the equation. We will get something of this form. We can check it, and hence simplifying it further, we get it in the form of dxy divided by x square y square plus 2 by x dx minus 1 by y dy equal to 0. Integrating it further, we will get the equation as minus 1 by xy plus log x square minus log y equal to c. C being an arbitrary constant. Again, simplifying it further, we will have log x square by y, since we have minus y log y here, And since we do not have a log over here and a log over there, so we take these terms to the other side and get 1 by xy plus c, which is the required general solution. Hope all of you got this very clearly. It's not that difficult to understand. Now we go on to the third rule. In fact, you will see that the third and the fourth rules are quite similar. If you understand the third rule, definitely you will be able to understand the fourth rule for sure. Check over here. We have if, obviously, first of all, the differential equation need not be in fact, it will not be a exact equation. That is the first thing. Then only we are going on to calculating an integrating factor. Now, if we see that del m del y minus del n del x into 1 by n, that is the second coefficient, is a function of only x. No other term is there. Then we can say that e to the power integration that fx, whichever is the function of solely x dx, is an integrating factor of the equation m dx plus n dy equal to 0. Let's quickly see an example of this form. Let's see over here. The equation states that x y square minus e to the power 1 by x cube dx minus x square y dy equal to 0. Since this is the m, this is the n, obviously calculating del m del y and del n del x, we see that they are not equal, right? They are not equal. So obviously we need to find a integrating factor. Now over here you can see that calculating dm dy, I mean to say del m del y minus del n del x into 1 by n, we get something of this form which can be simplified, and simply we get the equation as minus 4 by x, which is obviously wholly a function of only x. No term of y is present there. Therefore, we can consider this entire thing. We have to consider the sign as well. So, minus 4 by x as a whole function of x. So, the integrating factor will be e to the power minus integration 4 by x dx. Thus, we can get simplify it and get the result as simply 1 by x to the power 4. Now again, simply multiplying 1 by x to the power 4 all throughout, we will get this sort of equation, which is obviously exact. Now therefore, integrating it, we can find that this will be the primitive of the equation is of course of this type. Again, in the first integral, y is considered as a constant, and in the second one, we will consider the integral. The second one is considered, and over here it will be seen that there is no term which is free from x. That was rule 1 while calculating the integration when we are integrating. Therefore, there at that time we said that calculation of integration of an exact equation, we can go by any of the two rules. First rule was that integrate the first term and keep over there y as constant. For the second term, only consider those terms which are free from x. Or the second rule was consider the first integral, there keep y constant, and in the second part keep x constant and integrate, and ultimately take the summation of the two, leaving out the common between the two integrals, right? This was the second method, and the first method was that find the integral, first integral keeping y constant, and in the second integral take only those terms which are free from x and then calculate it and then take the summation. So here we have been stating the first rule. So here you can see that we will get a result of this form definitely, which is equal to a constant, or this can be simplified further to obtain this particular line, that is 3y square minus 2x square into e to the power 1 by x cube equal to cx square, where c is an arbitrary constant, right? A similar sort of an example is given over here. I expect all of you will be able to solve this. Please do take down the question. It is x dy dx minus 4y is equal to x to the power 6 ex, or it can be simplified in the following form. It can be given in a similar manner, that x to the power 6 ex plus 4y dx, this is the m, and minus x dy, that's the n, equal to 0. Again, we can see that del m del y is not equal to del n del x. Therefore, it is not exact. And after calculating del m del y minus del n del x into 1 by n, we will find that it is wholly a term of which consists of a function of x only. So considering the equation as e to the power integration fx dx as the integrating factor, we can simplify this. So let's take a look at this. We find del m del y, del n del x, they are not equal, so not exact. 1 by n del m del y minus del n del x will give us minus 5 by x, which is obviously wholly a function of x only. Considering this as the integrating factor, we get 1 by x to the power 5 as the integrating factor. Multiplying all this entire equation by 1 by x to the power 5, we again get a similar thing. And again, since we have got back a exact equation, this is an exact equation. So considering any one of the two working methods discussed in the previous class, you can see that integration taking y constant, and then the second integral, either we consider only the terms which are free from x, and then taking the summation of that, we will get the equation, the solution in this form, that is x minus 1 e to the power x equal to c plus y divided by x to the power 4, where definitely c is an arbitrary constant, right? Again, a very, very similar formula or the rule, similar to the third rule, all of us can understand. In the prior one, we had considered del m del y minus del n del x into 1 by n. Here we are considering 1 by m del n del x minus del m del y. And obviously, if it is wholly a function of y, gy, then we will consider integration e to the power, obviously integration gy dy is an integrating factor, right? So here obviously in the sum you will see that the sign also you have to keep in mind. We have taken one particular equation of this form. Here please see, you can consider any which way. Here we have mentioned over here 1 by m del n del x minus del m del y. In a lot of books you can find that 1 by m into m partial derivative with respect to y minus n partial derivative with respect to x is also considered. So we can go by any which way, obviously. So please keep this in mind. Here in the equation or in the solution, we will see that we have been applying this particular equation, although you can apply integrating factor, whatever be the sign, since we are multiplying both the sides with it, ultimately it gets nullified, but it is preferable that we use this particular equation as the integrating factor. Here also you can see that 1 by y to the power 4 is the integrating factor. Again, multiplying both the sides of the equation by 1 by y to the power 4, and considering either y as constant for the first and taking x as constant in the second, and only considering the terms which are not common, just eradicating the common terms, taking just one time only. The repeated elements are not considered. So here we will find the results as x to the power 2 e to the power y plus x square by y plus x by y, x square by y, yes, and plus x by y cube equal to c, where c is an arbitrary constant. Obviously, we have not considered the repeated terms. So, in the previous two sums, we had used the working formula 1. In this particular sum, we have used working formula number 2. That was already discussed in the previous class. So,